What's up, guys? So we're out here today. It's actually been flurrying a little bit, so before winter really totally comes in here, we're actually gonna get a metal roof set up here. I already got the first piece of framing set up, so we're gonna get a metal roof so that this here nesting box doesn't get covered in snow, we don't get moisture leaking in and messing up the bedding, and I think she's kind of excited about that. So let's get to it. So I cut these at a 10-degree angle, so just enough so that water will slide off. Snow might still build up, but it'll still be, relatively easy to slide it off. The main thing is that snow is not going to pile here, melt, freeze, water seep in, and then I can probably finally remove this here because we did have some water seepage along here. It's a little tough because with this sort of, with these grooves here, it's a little hard to perfectly seal it, but this should hopefully help solve the problem. We now have the frame for what's going to be our new metal roof over the nesting box. So you can kind of see how we did this. We've just got a pretty simple frame. I think I will put one additional piece here just to kind of strengthen it, but it's pretty rigid, especially considering we've got it just screwed into a metal shed here. But as I explained earlier, these are little cross pieces just to strengthen the structure. And then if we go on the inside, and look at that, we got a nice new light in here too, so we can see what we're doing. But we basically just put in some pieces here to shore up, and you can see some of my screws were a little long, so I'm just gonna have to come back and zip these. But we've got pieces here. This is actually the main structure of here, so we got to put in additional pieces like this to actually hold up what we've got. So that whole frame is screwed in here, along this whole frameage. This piece here, which was actually the framing of our old, we actually had a higher roost than this one here, but the dumb birds decided they wanted to eat our foam insulation, so we ripped out the higher roost because, bird brains. But yeah, and so this is the other side that holds up the cross piece and then the rest of the frameage. So this is actually gonna be a multi-day thing because, of course, it feels like I just got out here to finish up this frame and the sun's already almost gone. So this video has been quite a few days, maybe even a couple weeks in the making, and since we last filmed anything for this, got a nice little walkway. You wanna know why? Listen to this. Yeah, nice and soggy. So I was kind of sick of trudging through the mud because it's still been a really wet year. We just got like 3 inches of rain. Anyways, still working on this roof here. So you can see we've got our metal roof panels just sitting here. They're not screwed in. They're just kind of dry fitted here just to make sure that they're good. And I've got it clamped into place here at a sort of square position for the frame. As if you guys don't know, if you need to find the square of a frame, or I should say, to make sure that it is square, you measure from one corner to the opposite diagonally, and then you do the same from the opposite direction diagonally. And if it's square, your two measurements should be exactly the same. And if it's not square, then you gotta kind of play with the sides and kind of make sure that it's, well, square. Anyways, so we're gonna drill some holes in this metal, get this baby screwed down, and then once it is screwed down, you can see the height of this. So once it is screwed down, we're gonna take the angle grinder and cut off the excess here, because we don't need this extra 8 inches or so hanging off. So let's get to it before that sun that you can't see anymore goes away. Hey guys, just want to take a second to ask you to smash that like button and hit subscribe. It'll really help out the channel. Back to the video. Man, you gotta be kidding me. So, yeah, that didn't go as planned. So what kind of happened there was I only used 3-inch screws here, and that clearly wasn't enough to hold all this weight, plus me leaning on this to pre-drill a hole. So we got some 4-inch screws in now, and then I'm also gonna put another reinforcement piece to screw into here as well as into here to kind of join these two pieces together real nicely. So we're gonna do that, but first we're gonna finish putting this roof together. We're throwing in these used 4x4s we've had hanging around, just waiting to use them for something. So buried this down the ground just a little bit. It's pressure treated, so it's not going to rot away. And then when we screw this in, we'll just lift it up a little bit, so it puts a little pressure down. So let's get that going. Alright guys, so our roof addition is basically done. We gotta do just a little bit more tidying up. I'm gonna get a couple more screws in there. Now, I mentioned earlier about actually using my angle grinder to zip this extra lip off, but I may take some time and think about that, because honestly, the way that it is right now isn't too bad. And you can kind of see from this angle, having that extra lip might not be bad as far as protecting this from snow and rain. And you can also see this is no longer covered by black crappy plastic. This did get a little bit more weathered than I would have liked due to the moisture exposure, which is why we had it covered up. But now it's nice and protected, and we can see in here, and look at that, we got some eggs. You can tell they really like that side, huh? And there's a couple here to say hello. What's up, girls? You want to say hello? And that's that, guys. Another coop upgrade successfully completed.